Good Tuesday to all. Hope you are doing well. Hope the Chagim were meaningful, and may the Almighty tune into all our prayers. We've made many requests for the coming year, and may HaKadosh Baruch Hu have mercy on the people of Israel and humanity. We should hear good news. It's an exciting Shabbos. We begin the cycle of Torah reading with Bereshis. And we're very familiar with the first chapter. It talks about the creation, the world, the incredible world we live in. And I believe every child knows that the first verse of Torah, Bara Elokim et hashamayim v'et haaretz, there's a focus on the fact that God first created the heaven, most probably also referring to the spiritual realm, and the Aretz, the land, and it's in that order. The heavens, and then the earth. But then in the second chapter, in the fourth verse, something interesting happens. Two things are introduced. Number one, the Torah tells us you should know, B'yom asot Hashem Elokim, you should know that when God created, but here God is not just called the Elokim, right? The authority, the master. But here he is also called Hashem. The tetragrammaton is used for the first time. That unique name of God that we don't even utter. So that's introduction number one. In other words, that's the first thing that's suddenly introduced in this verse. And the second one, and this is what we are addressing, God created Eretz v'Shamayim. Chapter 2, verse 4. Suddenly here the order is reversed. It is Eretz v'Shamayim. First, the land is mentioned, and only after that, the heaven. And what changed? So you know what changed? This is a chapter that introduces the human being, Adam HaRishon and Chava. And yes, there's an incredible world created by God, right? You study science, you realize the wisdom that exists in nature. Incredible world indeed. And there's a system. There's a system that there is water in the ocean, it evaporates, collected in clouds, it rains. There are many, many cycles that we are familiar with. Suddenly, a human shows up. And when the human shows up, those cycles could be changed. In other words, and this is fundamental to our faith, that when people make the right decision, right? When the people of Israel listen to the values of Torah, follow the mitzvos, do acts of kindness and study Torah and pray, it has the ability to change nature. And this is not a crazy idea. We say it daily. Vayim shomoa tishma'u. It's in our Shema. If we tune into the teachings of Torah, God will bless us. Nature will behave in a different way. So suddenly, while before the human showed up, it was a heaven and then an earth, but suddenly the earth becomes far more significant because we're here. We humans are here. And we could change things. We could change things to such an extent that suddenly a new name is introduced of the Almighty. Because obviously names of God are not his essence, but the way he relates to us. And when man is created, when the human being is created, God suddenly interacts in a different way. We have the ability to make an impact. It's so important when we study the incredible world we live in and we appreciate the world we live in. Let us remember that we, the human being, and how much more so the people of Israel, have such abilities, right? Incredible abilities to change the world physically and spiritually. Making the right decision, even when there's no one around, right? When a decision is made, I'm going to have self-control and not going to go ahead and transgress a specific Torah prohibition. I'm going to study now some Torah. I'm going to perform an act of kindness. Just as we are in awe of nature, we have to be in awe of ourselves, of the human being. And with that, there's a statement in the Talmud where the great rabbis were asked, what was created first, heaven or earth? And the question that was asked to the rabbis was basically, what's more significant? Is it the spiritual realm or the physical one? And Hillel declared, you know what? Eretz, the land where the humans are, was created first. It is the purpose of creation. The same Hillel, right, who believes that when a person takes care of himself, right, takes care of his physical needs, he's performing a mitzvah, is the Hillel that states land was created first, where we humans are. And when we do the right thing, and when we live a life with a recognition of that higher being, and we make decisions that are good for ourselves and good for the world, that's the purpose of creation. At times of challenge, there is a unique responsibility we have, and that's acceptance. Acceptance that it's the will of God that we do things differently. Right? We just passed through a high holiday season. It was a very different high holiday season. The Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchas Torah was not like any one we have experienced or celebrated in the past. But we have to go ahead and say to ourselves, we did our part. This is what the Almighty wants. And if we did it with faith, and we did it with a smile, and we did it with sensitivity towards others who are struggling as well, we are as incredible as creation, right? We are inspired by nature, but let's be inspired by what we are doing. And let's keep up that good work, right? The challenge is going to pass, but the unique ability to do the right thing during the challenge, that will pass as well, right? And we have to make the right decisions today, to be committed to what we are about, and to have faith that we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do during the challenge, and keep up the good work. So many people have done a tremendous amount of good over the past 7 months, and how much more so leading to the Yamim Noraim, to this busy season. So you've done good. Keep up the good work. We're entering into a new stretch, right? The winter is coming. We don't know how the future looks like, but we do know what we could do and make ourselves, our nation, and the Almighty very proud of our achievements. It should be a good day, and all the best. Bye-bye.